New South Wales Liberal Democrat Senator David Leyonhjelm has joined a group of economists who are warning that the pension backflip will have financial consequences for taxpayers in the future. And Senator Leyonhjelm joins us now. Good morning, Senator.
Good morning.
Now, this is obviously a populist move. Is that the view that you take?
Yes, it's exactly the word I would use. It's populist. It's designed to win votes, but it's not good policy.
Why not?
Well, we can't afford it. We have, as you said in your introduction, but we have a budget deficit. Economists are all against it. They're pointing out that we have an ageing population. We have fewer and fewer people working and paying taxes, and the only net taxpayers, if you like, the only people who are paying more into the system than are receiving it, is a dwindling band at the top 20%. Now, that's not sustainable. There are several other reasons, of course, why it's bad policy. We are living longer, we're healthier. If you look at the American presidential election, when Trump won it, Hillary Clinton, Trump and Bernie Sanders are all over 70s as candidates. So they're examples of the fact that reaching 67, 65, 67, 70 doesn't mean the end of your career. You're perfectly capable of going on and doing very productive things into your 70s. So the idea that you just hang up your spurs and receive other people's money just because you reach a certain age, I think is quite inappropriate in given our state of health and longevity.
Would an adequate compromise from your point of view have been just to transition to this rather than abruptly say at a certain point we're going to do this?
Oh, well, we were going to transition to the 70 pension age by 2035, I think, from memory. So it was a very slow, gradual process, and it wasn't in the budget because it was so far ahead, so there was no financial implications in the budget, and this decision by the government similarly will have no implications for the budget. It's just a populist thing. It's just sort of saying to people, oh yeah, we know you want to retire, and so we're not going to force you to stay in the workforce before you can earn a pension. But the problem, of course, is that you have too many people who are earning pensions. Everybody gets less money because there's only so much to go around. It's already costing $40-odd billion a year in age pensions, and there's really not much scope for increasing that amount.
Do you feel as though you're in the minority, even though economists are backing your argument, and this what you're arguing potentially in some minds might be right, but people who are the recipients of benefits, the last thing that they want is a benefit taken away from them?
Yes, we have a problem in this country now, and that there is what some people call an entitlement mentality. It's this attitude that other people's money is something that I have an entitlement to, and as the newspaper today in Australian points out, in fact, only 20% of adults are net contributors to our Commonwealth, if you like. Everybody else is either neutral or a net recipient of other people's money. Now, given that everybody votes, it's inevitable, of course, that the recipients say, well, I'm going to vote for whoever's going to give me the most. It doesn't matter where it comes from, I'm entitled to it. It is a problem. It's not just Australia's problem. Other countries have a similar issue. But we can ignore it at our peril. It's sooner or later it's going to bite us.
But isn't the problem too this sense that, and you probably would have heard it amongst your constituents, not necessarily yours but others as well, that I've paid taxes all my life, I'm entitled to the pension, and technically speaking in Australia that's not strictly true.
No, you're quite right. That isn't true. The UK and New Zealand do have an accumulation system, so theoretically at least, and it is pretty theoretical in both cases, a certain amount of their taxes is set aside and separately identified and put into supposedly a pension fund which they then receive when they reach a certain age. Australia's never had that and never ever had that, never been in law ever in its history. It's talked about it at various times, but that's as far as it's gone. And if you think about it, the argument, I paid taxes all my life, therefore I'm entitled to a pension when I reach pension age, does that mean that somebody who's quite wealthy, like Gina Reinhardt, who's paid taxes all her life, when she reaches pension age, she's entitled to an age pension? Now, most Australians would say no, she shouldn't. In the UK and New Zealand, she would be entitled to a pension because some of her taxes would have gone towards her pension. But that's not the case here. So if we are going to say, well, somebody like Gina Reinhardt shouldn't be entitled to a pension just because she paid taxes and just because she reached pension age, then clearly there has to be a line drawn somewhere. Where is that line? Should we say, well, everyone except billionaires is entitled to a pension? Or, where do we say we can afford to pay pensions to some people but not to others? We do need rules on that sort of thing.
All right, Senator Leyonhjelm, thanks for that perspective.
My pleasure.